At the beginning of the week, UGA quarterback Carson Beck was asked what he remembered most about the last time Clemson and Georgia played. Of course, he didn't play that game. It was back in 2021. He was on the team, but he wasn't the team's starter yet. He said he remembered it ended 10-3 in Georgia's favor, and it was all about the defense. The name of the game was defense. Guys, you can't compare these two teams, but you can say there is one similarity between both of these games: the defense. Back then, Georgia's defense only gave up 3 points, and today, once again, they only allowed a field goal. The chemistry on offense has been questioned throughout the preseason, and I can tell you this: you saw it today. It's doing pretty well. Coming up in sports, we will talk about the newest guys on the team and how Carson Beck is developing chemistry with them. 3 of the 4 players who got into the end zone today are new. Much was made of the chemistry on offense heading into this season. How would quarterback Carson Beck react to the new pieces around him? I think that question was answered today. 3 of the 4 players who entered the end zone for the Dawgs were new on the team.
I don't remember it much. It just kind of happened, you know. But all I know is I was in the end zone, turned around, and all 10 of my brothers were right there, so that was awesome to see.
And the Dawgs defense held it down, never allowed Clemson in the end zone. Safety Malaki could be seen all around the field beyond his position. He made his first interception of the season, reminding players of the very first time he made an INT against Oregon when he was a true freshman in his first game.
Oh yeah, it looks familiar from the Oregon game. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. You know, Malaki got them hands. He's a great athlete, and I'm not even shocked because he's a great player.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, he does that stuff. It's no surprise. You see him at practice. That's what he does.
His ability to play man-to-man, his ability to play safety. He could go out and play corner if he had to. He's just a tremendous athlete. But with all that accolades, he's one of the most humble, great kids I've ever been around. But I saw Champ before the game, and I told him that Malaki has a lot of the same traits.
And the Dawgs didn't escape this one without any injuries. Michael Williams could be seen walking around in a boot after the game. It appears he injured his left ankle during the 3rd quarter of the game. We'll keep you updated as we know more. Reporting from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Emily Gagnon, Atlanta News First. 3 of the 4 players who scored today are new and scored their very first touchdowns as Dawgs. Where would you say the chemistry is on offense right now?
I would say the offense as a whole. We are a strong brotherhood there, and everyone works together great. So,
Dillon, 3 of the 4 guys who scored today entered the end zone for their first time as Dawgs. Where would you say the chemistry is right now on offense?
The best it could be. I mean, I feel like leading forward into practice every day this week. We had a game plan. Those guys was doing those exact things in the game. So, I mean, at practice. So it just translated into the game.
Carson, at the beginning of the week, you were asked what you remember most about the last time you guys played each other. And you said it was 10-3 and that the defenses played really well. There is a similarity, even though these teams are very different now, the fact that your defense didn't allow any touchdowns today. So only 3 points. Again, I love your smile. What can you say about how they played today?
Yeah, well, I have to play against our defense every single day, and I don't enjoy it very much either. So, I mean, they're phenomenal. The things that, you know, they're able to do and the multitude of defense that they're able to play, I mean, that's a credit to, like, their intelligence on the defensive side of the ball. And then not only that, but going out there and executing the plan and Coach Schumann calling the plays and the players actually going out there and doing it and performing. Like I said, I absolutely hate playing against our defense every day, but, you know, I think that's what makes our offense get better and better. But to watch them go out there, you know, it makes our job a little bit easier. You know, we have good field position, and we're really not too worried about the other team scoring.
Malaki, I know you don't want to compare defenses of the past. However, let's go back to 2021. You were not playing for Georgia yet, but there is a similarity between both games. No touchdowns allowed on defense. How proud are you?
Really, you know, that's our thing. You know, I think that's why you come to Georgia to play defense. We really care about it here. And, you know, Clemson has an awesome defense as well. They got some really talented guys, but I think just the ability to go out there and do that, we take a lot of pride in that.
What can you say about Frazier? Is this just the beginning?
Oh, this is definitely just the beginning, for sure. Y'all going to see a lot, and then we got Trevor, and all those running backs, and Nate. It's going to be a scary sight for sure in the future, so I say that.
Throughout the broadcast, they were comparing Frazier to DeAndre Swift. Do you see any similarities there?
Yes, because Swift is Swift, and they both Swift. Like, they nice, you know. They both twitchy. They can make cut. He had a very nice cut today. I was like, ooh. I was like, hey, that's just, you know, that got them jeans. So yeah, I say that.
Were you able to see Malaki Starks' interception, the very first interception of the season for UGA?
Oh yeah, it looks familiar from the Oregon game. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. You know, Malaki got them hands. He's a great athlete. I'm not even shocked because he's a great player.
And speaking of Malaki, he said before the season started that you were the one to watch on offense. What do you have to say about that?
Hey, I don't even know. I love you. I had to say that. Thank you, Malaki. I appreciate that.
I know a lot's been asked of you, and I also want to talk about Jalen Walker. A lot's been asked of him. He's moved around quite a bit. His performance today, I mean, when he was on the field, he was leaving it all out there. Did you see him and his reaction to plays?
Yeah. Jalen Walker's like my brother, man. I love being out there on the field, and I made a joke that the sack that we were both on is mine, not his. So if somebody puts that on the stat sheet as mine, I would appreciate that. But no, just to see his growth and his talent and his passion for the game. I mean, you can, like you said, you can see it on the field. So, and I love being out there with a guy like him, knowing that you know, when I go to war, he's right there with me.
I know this offseason you've made a lot about being the leader on. I don't want to say on defense, but within the DBs. Right. You actually were out there today doing it. Was there a different feel for you?
Yes and no. You know, because I think, you know, with the room we had last year, you know, we had Taki Smith and Kamari Lassiter and Bull. But, you know, I still had a role in that too. And I think I just kind of took it and kind of ran with it. And it's a lot more natural just to be out there on the field and, you know, just kind of talking. Because, you know, everybody wants to be on the same page. So if I'm able to help that, you know, it's just a good feeling.
Are you loving your relationship with T-Rob?
Yeah, I am.
Guys, we're just a few days away from kickoff between number 14 Clemson and number 1 Georgia. When they played back in 2021 to open the season, these teams looked very different. For one, that game ended with a 10-3 UGA win. Defense was the name of the game back then. As long as head coach Kirby Smart is in Athens, the Dogs will be good on defense. He's a defensive-minded coach, but probably not as good as they were that season. 5 defensive players from that team were drafted in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. It set a record. This year's defense is young. Michael Williams, Smile London, and Malaki Starks are the vets of the group. You have one on the defensive line, another one in the linebackers room, and the last one leading the DBs. Starks, a safety, started as a true freshman, game 1 against Oregon in 2022. What was he thinking ahead of it?
It's crazy because, like, you never really know if you're ready until you're in the moment. You know, you put in the preparation and you have trust and faith in the work that you put in to prepare you for the moment. But, you know, everybody seems to be doing good. And, you know, I've just been telling the same thing people were telling me. You know, just take it day by day, play by play. You know, see a little, don't see too much, and, you know, enjoy it. You know, it's you only get one shot.
The Braves can sweep the Twins tonight with a win. First pitch from Minneapolis is set for 7:40. And Jen, your Gators have a huge game Saturday after that UGA game. They face Miami.
I loved that enthusiasm. Go Gators. Yeah, big football weekend for sure.
All right, guys, I can't lie. I feel like dancing. College football officially back. It's a top 15 matchup between top-ranked UGA and number 14 Clemson to kick off week 1 of the 2024 college football season. The last time these two met, it was game 1 of the 2021 season. I remember it well. The Dogs would go on to win their first national championship since 1980. All eyes on Carson Beck in his second full season as UGA's quarterback. He has some new pieces around him, so it might take a little more time than usual for him to build some chemistry with some of those guys, but he certainly has the tools and experience to lead this team to the college football playoffs. Even though he didn't play the last time the Dogs and Tigers squared off, he remembers a lot about that game that ended in a 10-3 win for the Dogs.
It's a crazy game, first off. I mean, we didn't, by crazy, I mean, there wasn't much offense involved in that game. I think it was 10-3, if I'm correct. I mean, really good defenses. I remember their defense being really good that year. Our defense being really good that year as well. You know, haven't spent a lot of time on scout team going against them. But going back to then, I mean, obviously it's a very different situation compared to now.
And the Braves, they started a series on the road tonight at the Twins. It went into a weather delay in the second inning, a pretty long one, but they were up 9-1 when it happened. We'll be right back.